Welcome to At Your Pace Online's class for insurance producers who offer annuities to their customers. This is a state-approved course designed to meet the Annuity Suitability curriculum standards set by the NAIC for producers who wish to be licensed to market and sell annuities, and includes the latest updates for 2020. NAIC training and licensing standards came about as a result of two events in 2010. Annuities had become increasingly popular, partly due to a not entirely accurate belief that they could offer the same returns as stocks or bonds, while reducing or eliminating the downside risks of investments. After all, an annuity is insurance, not a pure investment, and insurance is supposed to protect the insured against bad events. Meanwhile, the terms and fees involved in annuities had become increasingly complex and confusing, raising concerns that an inexperienced purchaser might be victimized in the annuities market. It was understood that an insurance producer might not intentionally victimize the purchaser of an annuity, but, through inadequate suitability standards, training, support, or oversight, might inadvertently do so. To prevent this from happening, the NAIC published an update on their Suitability in Annuity Transactions Model Regulations in April of 2010. These regulations were first created in 2003 to apply to seniors only, then extended to all customers in 2006, and later revised in 2010. In July 2010, Title IX of the Dodd-Frank Act included a requirement that by March of 2013, all states must adopt the 2010 NAIC model regulations or standards at least as strict. If not, they would no longer be granted jurisdiction over the sale of indexed securities. Another provision of Title IX required states to adopt the NAIC suitability control procedures of the model regulation in order to receive federal grants for programs that protect seniors against misleading marketing practices. Arizona adopted the required annuity suitability course in late 2017. Effective January 1, 2018, the goal is to ensure that annuities are only sold to those who genuinely benefit from the product. The 2020 amended model regulations were adopted by the Arizona legislature and will become effective January 1, 2021. Producers authorized to sell annuities before the effective date of this act must, within 6 months of the effective date, complete either a new 4-credit-hour annuity training course approved by the Director of the Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions after the effective date of this act, or an additional one-time 1-credit-hour annuity training course approved by the Department and offered by an education provider approved by the Department on appropriate sales practices, replacement, and disclosure requirements prescribed by law. This class fulfills these goals, as well as the requirements of the model regulation and newly adopted state laws. Our class will begin with a brief introduction to annuities, followed by an in-depth discussion on the new best interest obligations of producers. Then, we'll review the different types of annuities available and the parties to an annuity. We'll look at the contract provisions of various types of annuities in depth, with a particular focus on how the provisions affect consumers. Following this discussion, we'll look at income tax considerations for annuities, along with the primary uses of annuities. Finally, we'll take a comprehensive look at appropriate sales practices, suitability and replacement standards, and disclosure requirements for insurance producers who handle annuities. Annuities are a tremendous resource offered to insurance customers and likely to remain a flourishing business for years to come. They're also a complex product that's been among the most misunderstood, misused, and abused products in the financial marketplace. And they've gotten more than their fair share of negative press. By completing this suitability training, and by subsequently pursuing training by insurers in their specific products, and following the guidelines those insurers provide to you, you'll be sure to give the right advice to your customers regarding this complicated but very valuable product. Let's get into the course.